fans! Welcome to the most special, wonderful, gigantic episode of Chubs Gone Wild in, well, several years. Anyway, it is Chubs Gone Wild, episode 400. 400. Recorded on June 28th, 2021. Welcome. Happy anniversary, Tom.
Thanks.
It's like an episode a pound. Well, for me.
Oh, really?
Well, we're getting there.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course, by the time we get there, I'll be heading down the other way, right?
Absolutely. I know I am. Wait,
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Scratching my back with my shirt. Ugh. Well, and that's the thing too, is that, well, we need to reiterate our motto or update it or whatever, to remember that even though we celebrate whatever body type you are, however big you are, we love you, we embrace you, and you can be wild. But also, if you're on a weight loss journey or a health journey or, whatever you may be on, we celebrate that too. Everybody's welcome.
Well, and everybody's a chub.
That's true. Even on the inside. We just, the whole premise of who we are and what we do is to love your body and send us penis photos. Wait, that is right?
No, that's not right.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not that show.
Oh, that's my other show.
That's your other show.
Blending. Oh, I gotta figure that out.
We were Send Us Chocolate, and then we weren't anymore.
I know, I ruined it all.
You did. You ruined it for everyone.
I know. But, oh well. 6 months from now, when I'm, all back to my wonderful self without any issues or anything, it'll be time for Halloween, and I'll get the big bags of candy again and do it all over. Isn't that how it's supposed to work?
Well, that's how it works. It's not supposed to work that way, but
right.
What happens? Yes.
Well, maybe for Halloween, I'll have one of our Reese's. Wait, yeah, pumpkins. Yeah, the pumpkins. Okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, wait a minute, or is it the Snickers? No, the Snickers are Christmas. The Snickers nut crackers, which I've never been able to find again.
Oh.
The fuck? Anyway, I'm not going to eat them now anyway, but I'm just saying that those used to be my favorite.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's currently 85 degrees and sunny outside the Chubs Gone Wild studios with an expected high of, what was it, 95 today?
I think we're going to be 98 maybe, which is delightfully cool considering we're not in Portland.
Oh, I know. The whole West Coast has just been hit so hard.
Well, actually, it's we're pretty, we're a little bit above average here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
But you go up to Red Bluff and Redding, and they're in the, they're high, either the high tens or they're into the teens, the 111. But Portland yesterday hit 112, the highest temperature ever recorded in Oregon.
That's insane.
And Seattle had their highest temperature yesterday as well.
I know TJ Zombie Girl's been posting where she's at in the Wenatchees, and it's just the same, about the same as here, but the last few days higher.
Yeah, for them, they aren't used to it. And it's that's where the problem really comes in, is they're just not used to the heat like we are. Right. And so a lot of the houses don't have air conditioning, not a majority, but still a lot of the houses don't have air conditioning, and they're having rolling blackouts as well. So if they do have air conditioning, it's not working. It's a nightmare. And they closed down the Portland light rail because they don't know how it's going to run at this extreme heat.
Right. In fact, we follow one of the people in our Pride 48 community, Thomas. He is one of the light rail operators.
Oh.
and so he was mentioning that today.
Yeah. Also, what was the other thing that was kind of shocking? No, I don't remember. Well, they're running the Olympic trials up there, and the track and field.
Wow.
And so yesterday they closed down the track at early morning. They ran a couple races and go, okay, it's not even like 10 o'clock yet. This is ridiculous. So they stopped it because they had a couple players that, contestants, players, Olympians, whatever, that passed out from the heat.
Wow.
And so they're going, okay, 8:30 tonight, we'll come back and do this when at least the sun is off the field, because the track is even hotter than the temperature. Because it's just like I don't know if I said it here last week, but the problem with the heat when it's this hot for a long time is that and it doesn't cool off at night, the ground doesn't cool.
Yeah.
So you're walking and there's heat coming up. The sun's pouring down on you. So you're just rotisserie chickening yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember seeing the little cartoon says something like, so this is what it's like being in an air fryer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is exactly it. You're getting it from all directions. And then you get into your car, which is, another 20 degrees hotter than it is outside, if not more.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a bad situation. And it does go to all around the West Coast above Sacramento and into Montana and Idaho, places that usually don't get extreme heats either.
Right.
So it's just fun.
But there's no global warming.
No climate change.
Nope. Ted Cruz said so.
Did you see all those the tornadoes that ripped through the southeast last week?
No, I didn't. I've been kind of avoiding news stuff.
Well, and the one building in right outside of Miami that collapsed.
Oh yes, I did see that.
In the middle of the night, it collapsed with 150 people in that side of the building, and they're like, well, we might get rescue people, and it's like, no, this is more of a retrieving, recovery and retrieve. It's not rescue anymore.
Right.
But it probably was never rescue, because a 12-story building collapsed on top of apartments, just horrible. But they said that, when this was built in 1980, the building was set to be able to sustain, big hurricane winds like 120, miles an hour. And now that it's up to 185 miles an hour, it's making a difference. And of course, the waters aren't rising, but the ground is so saturated at times that they're putting high rises on basically quicksand. And so it's going to get bad. It's going to get really bad. This is not the last high rise that's going to collapse like that.
It's over the next few years, everything is weather-wise, especially during, the summer days, are just going to get horrible. Look at the winters we've been having.
Right. Their hurricane season is just, look what it did to Cuba and what it did to Puerto Rico and multiples of the islands down there. It's suffered, and then it comes in and hits Florida, and it's been going up the coast all the way up to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and not to mention all the stuff that's been happening in the Gulf with around Texas and everything. There's been several years recently when Nephi has been, letting me know, hey, we lost power. We're hoping the house doesn't flood, and it's been days without anything. We can't even get, to work or through the streets or. So,
right. Well, that's when they've had their multiple century floods.
Yeah.
You can't call it a once in a lifetime flood when it happens 3 years in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
But goodness knows, let's not do anything to, actually change anything, because rich people still need to be rich.
Right.
So, all right. Well, enough about that. It is 125 days until Halloween, 180 until Christmas, just 6 until Independence Day from that horrible nation across the pond. And 189 days until season 2 of Call Me Cat. Yay! Meow. All right, well, let's get on to see what other holidays we celebrate today, other than the 400th episode of Chubs Gone Wild. Wow, it's a shorter day today. That's interesting. We celebrate.
Oh, that's one thing I wanted to tell you is today the sun starts setting earlier.
Yay.
Yeah, yesterday was the height of the long days, and now I mean it's just a few seconds tonight, and then but by I guess they say the end of July will be, it'll be sun will be setting before 8 o'clock.
Yay! I'm all for that.
Oh yeah.
I like the shorter days. Well, you know what? I'm okay with longer days too, but just not the heat.
I know. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that winter time. All right. Today we celebrate Insurance Awareness, International Body Piercing, International Cap Locks Day, also Tapioca, Paul Bunyan, Please Take My Children to Work Day. Oh, gosh. It's always about the children. Also Tao Day. Tao or Tao. Tao. And that's it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, there's I've been watching Hacks on
yes.
HBO Max, and there's this towards the end, I think it may be the last episode of the season, where the angry lesbian moves back in with her mother. And so what happens is they show her sleeping in bed, and right next to her, I mean, we're talking maybe a foot away, is a cat covering up what it just did in the cat box. And I'm thinking, there's nothing worse than when a cat takes that shit and they're just covering it up, and it's just to really bring out the bouquet of it, and she's there sleeping, and later on they're in her and Jean Smarter in her bedroom, and she goes, I can't believe you're in my bedroom without taking off your shoes. And she goes, I need to take off my shoes. And she goes, no, I'm just joking. It smells like cat shit in here. It was, I love cat box humor. I can't, I don't know why. Okay.
I used to think it was really funny when something, would like fall out of a window, and then a few seconds later you'd hear like from below. I don't know why, but I used to think that was the funniest fucking noise that there was. So anyway, I just looked it up, and Tao Day is an annual celebration of the circle constant T equals 6.283185, and there's probably some more numbers that I'm not going to say, which takes place in June 28th to raise awareness of the Tao concept.
Well, it was also the day of Stonewall.
That's right. Why didn't they? Oh, they're a homophobic site. They didn't tell us that.
Yeah, some people say it was the 27th because they don't know when it started, when the riots started, but you got to figure it was probably close to midnight on the 27th. Right. And the cops probably didn't really get in there until, like, don't tell us we have to go home. It's 2 o'clock. So
yeah,
because it's also Jana's birthday.
I heard a rumor. Yeah. See, originally I was sure that she would have called for our show, and I figured that she was just so busy celebrating that she probably thought this whole show was going to be about her birthday anyway.
Oh, that's so Carly Simon of you.
I know. Anyway, it's not.
But yeah. So it's her very old birthday. I won't say what it is because you're not supposed to tell a woman's age, but Well, you look at Jaina, you know it.
Oh, but she tried makeup for the first time.
Well, the first time she's actually going to be, she was without a mask outside in or inside, except for at home in a year and a half.
Wow.
So yeah, no. Well, it's funny because my friend Mike posted pictures of Jaina for her birthday, and some of them had me in them.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
What?
you know, I looked at those pictures and I thought, oh my God, you're so fat.
Oh, stop.
And now I look at them and go, oh my God, I can't believe that I looked that good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Terrible. It's just
wonderful.
terrible.
I know. Well, you know, we all do that. Remember when we first met 20 years ago? And I thought I was fucking ugly and hideous because, you know, that's what society told me. So I believed it.
Right.
Now I look back on photos like that and I'm like, oh my God, I was fucking cute. Like, if I had had a little bit more confidence in myself, I would have been fucking everything. Well, almost everything. But, you know, but seriously, I mean, I do look back on that and I'm like, damn, I was really attractive. Why didn't I fucking believe in myself? Well, we know why, which is why we do the show.
Right. Well, you know, it's even more than that, because some of these pictures were back in the like 90s and 80s. And you know, when I lost a bunch of weight and I got down to 190 pounds and I was still fat. Because in those days, if you weren't 140 pounds, you were fat. And so it's like, now if I could have transferred that look to today, oh my God, I could have been a movie star.
Yeah, it's true. And it's funny, you and I had joked about this, but it actually happened when I went in for my consultation about my beaties.
Beatus.
Yes, beatus, there we go. The guy, as soon as he came through the door, I was like, oh no, it can't be him, really. And he was like 135, 140 pounds maybe. He had this blonde hair and he was the biggest queen, and he talked about his wife and daughter, and I'm just like, do you know that you're gay? I'm just wondering, because the rest of us, we're all like, bitch, you gay. Like, you open your mouth and like a little rainbow flag pops out.
Yeah. Do your wife and child know you're gay?
Right, exactly. Is your wife a drag queen? Just wondering, you know. Anyway, but yeah, as soon as I saw him, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a chance. Little 135 pound telling me, you know, oh, it's so easy to lose weight. Yeah. Anyway, he turned out to be a pretty good guy, and yeah, so anyway, let's see, where are we? Today's affirmation: harmony surrounds me. All is well in my world. Ah, ah. Yeah. Okay, so Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Starsage from Uniboss, Timothy, Eric, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/MattReallyGame if you would like to become a patron of the show for as little as $1 a month and get wonderful rewards, including the new My Life in Fragments podcast, which is Patreon only and is currently out. Yay! All right, let's find out who we need to blow. I mean, who is going to be blowing out candles? What flavor? So for those of you who are not watching the video, which is probably most of you, Tom just put on some chapstick. Is there flavor?
Yeah, it's vanilla CBD chapstick.
Oh, so now the CBD, is it just medical, or do you actually get like something from it?
No, it's CBD is only medical.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I don't think it really works that well, but they are so fragrant. It's ridiculous. I have one that's blackberry, and I just want to eat it out of the tube.
I have smelled a few of those. I had some, but I ended up giving it to my mother. That was like oh gosh, I don't even remember, but it smelled so good, and it tasted good too. But I didn't eat it out of the tube because I probably would have pooed.
Yeah.
Anyway, today's birthdays, we want to wish happy birthday to Kelso, to Jana, Jania,
Whatever.
Jana. Happy birthday, Jana. Also, Viva la Johnson. Happy birthday to her. Theron, Gary. Oh, that Craig Cannon. Oh, I said his last name. Oh, who cares? Anyway, Craig the Freak Geek, his birthday is coming up. Everybody go wish him a lot of love. He's going through a real rough time right now. Anyway, also author Rick R. Reed, dancer and performer Michael Jimenez, Adam, author of Bewitched, the Bewitched Continuum, which is a great big book that has everything you ever wanted to know, every detail, every, like, how many times did Endora turn Darren into something. It's in this book. Author Adam Michael James, totally cool guy. Also author Ike Rosen, Zach. Oh, that brother Sinatus. Oh, he's a patron of the show. Happy birthday to you. Also, George Alley. We got Quentin Linz and David. Actually, David L. McDonald, who ran the Best of Broadway locally. Remember going and seeing Best of Broadway?
Yes.
Sometimes it was enjoyable to see Best of Broadway, and sometimes you went, oh dear, 50 kids who can't dance trying to be coordinated into a stage number.
Well, it's not, it was because they would do multiple numbers from multiple shows.
Yes.
And so you'd be going, oh, well, this is really good. This isn't bad. Okay, yeah. And then the next number would be horrible. Oh my God. I can't sit. I'm going to go to the car. You can't leave. You can't leave. I can't sit. And then the next number would come by and you go, okay, you're right. I overreacted. And then the next, oh my God. And it was ups and downs. I swear they probably scheduled the show that way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so-and-so's horrible. So let's put them after a good number.
Right. And then we'll get an even better number after so people won't leave. But
right.
it was fun. I was their box office person for a while. And the one thing is that especially the people that were running it were really good people. So you stuck it out.
Well, yeah, technically the show was excellent.
Yeah.
It's just we're not New York, Los Angeles, so we don't have this glut of talented people that just want some exposure.
Right. But I'll tell you, when they did find a gem, they shined. They shined really, really well. Also, we want to wish a posthumous birthday and to Christian Messer, who passed earlier this year. And anyway, his birthday, he would have been 51. So yeah, too soon. All right, loves, what we got next coming up here? We've got a little bit of feedback. So we're gonna, well, if you're watching the video version, you're not gonna hear this, which is really too bad. You really need to go over to the podcast and listen to the voicemails that we got, the absolutely wonderful voicemails, which are going to be inserted right here.
Ouch.
All right, well, we hope that you enjoyed that. I know that I was just absolutely blown away to get so much love from our 400th birthday. I mean, we heard from Kathy Bacon and Moose P and Scott the Satyr and Toffee Smelly and Sassy and DJ Starsage and that Timmy, which, I didn't even know he went by Timmy Sims anymore. He goes by
doesn't. I think that was just
he
so we
must have split. Yeah. Also, we got heard from Ouija and that Nephi, and Ang Brun from BOA, who I didn't even know listened to the show, and he was offering us something wonderful, but I don't remember. I couldn't really understand what it was. Anyway, but wow, so much love for our 400th. I'm blown away. I'm feeling the love. Also, we did get a comment on the videos from Sean, and he said, had a string of 100 plus degrees down here in San Luis Obispo County, too. No fun. No, certainly wasn't. So
well, especially in those areas, it's not fun because I mean, all along the coast, they don't have air conditioning. I know
our bill is already soaring here, but
think about it. If you lived in San Francisco, you most likely would not have air conditioning. And so when they get 99 degrees in San Francisco, no fog, no wind, and it's cement everywhere. They swelter.
I know that if I was in San Francisco and it was a day that hot, I would know that there had to be some demon activity going on, and I would hope that the Halliwell sisters would be on it because they need to like kick some demon ass over some things to get our temperatures back down.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah. All right. So thank you all again for all the love that you gave us for our 400th episode. Next up is Chub Hugs. You got anything?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, you can chub hug all those wonderful people wishing us a happy 400th episode, and we can send out cooling chub hugs to all the people suffering from the heat, and then comforting chub hugs to all the people dealing with the horrible weather in the southeast. So, but then again, it's funny because it's been us hot and them weird weather, and then this and like northeast cold, and it's just been like, okay, what is it this way? Flip the tortilla. Let's see if we're going to get hot or cold, or throw in an earthquake. How about that? And not to mention all the volcanoes going off everywhere in the world, which is never a good sign. I look at volcanoes like acne. It's like, usually if you're not somebody that gets acne, it's usually because you're stressed or you're under a lot of pressure, and so your face breaks out, and that's telling that something is wrong.
Right.
And so when volcanoes start, you have like 4 volcanoes all erupting at the same time, especially around the water areas. Like we've got the Pacific Rim, and they've got all those volcanoes that are, we got one in Hawaii that's still going off. You got one, I think, in Lima. Then they're now talking about something in it's Iceland has one, and it's like, okay, when they start popping off like this, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned.
Yeah.
Yep.
And every right to be. And we could knock a big hit out of the global warming stuff if people would just pull their heads out of their asses and love the earth. But rich people need to be rich.
Well, and what I love is, they're looking at the moon, and the Mars is being able to colonize there, and it's like, okay. The whole idea here is we don't have to just burn the candle at both ends.
Yeah.
We can conserve a little bit and make it so we can stay here. How about that?
Yeah.
How about we don't have to fly into space and look for another place to fuck up?
Yeah, when they were talking about how there's no going back and everything, and then like for what was it, several weeks, like China had to shut down all their factories, all their smog burning shit, everything else, and like the ozone layer got smaller, and
Well,
the air quality cleared up.
well,
It was like,
remember
what?
Los Angeles at the during the original lockdown,
Yes.
and all of a sudden there's no smog. The
Uh-huh.
freeways were empty.
Mhm.
It was this majestic looking city.
Yeah. And we can do it. We can do it so easily. It just takes a little
Well,
bit
well,
of
well
anyway.
the way I like to think of it is, okay, you say, well, you know, cutting, the admissions isn't going to do anything. And it's like, well, it did. We saw that when they didn't have cars on the road in China and Hong Kong and Los Angeles and other areas that are terrible. They cleared up in 2 days. 2 days.
Yep.
Okay, so if we had all gas cars,
Mm-hmm.
and that commercial that says, "Oh, think about it, you're going to be paying to get those gas the electric stations put in all across the state, and you don't even have a car, an electric car." Well, you know what? In a couple of years, you're going to only be able to get one, and look, the
Right.
stations are there for you.
And not only
Well,
that, I mean,
I don't have a car to begin with. Okay, so that's our fault.
yeah.
Yeah,
And what do
okay,
you care? It's going to cost you like maybe what, a tenth of a cent on your taxes.
I know, but it's the way they like to scare people
Uh-huh.
into. If it's going to cost me anything, I don't want to do it.
Right.
It's like,
Exactly.
oh, our schools suck. Well, then let's do a school bond. Oh, no, that costs me.
Right.
Let the government pay for that. Okay, where do you think the government gets their money? From your taxes.
Mhm.
Are you people stupid?
And another thing that would help, for electric cars and stuff, since it will be mandatory at some point, if the states or whatever governments or whatever could, they're like give you the down payment to, they make it cheap, they make it affordable, they take trade-ins, whatever they have. There, we can do this.
Yes.
The only thing that's stopping us is people saying, "Oh, well, we can't do it because of this legislation and that legislation." It's like, no, fuck your legislation. The planet's dying, and we're gonna die with it unless you do this. That's the bottom line.
Think
Fuck
of
your
the children.
registrations. Change your registrations. Anyway, enough
Okay.
about that. This is our 400th, so we're happy
I
show.
know. We got to pull this out of the toilet. We do.
Well, I don't have any chub hugs to send out except to the earth because I
There
love
you go.
her.
There you go. Don't lift
Anyway,
your arm
happy
like that.
thoughts. Current topics. Queen Latifah is officially out after she sends love to her partner and son during the BET Awards ceremony. She closed out her speech by mentioning "my love" and wishing everyone a happy Pride.
And don't forget, she was accepting like the Icon Award.
Oh, she is an icon. I have loved her so much for so long. Anyway, she's great. So it just makes me proud that she is part of our community.
Well, and the thing is, she's been part of our community for a long time.
Right.
Just not official.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that all of a sudden you come out and her TV show gets canceled because, well, nobody wants to watch a lesbian who's out, doing this.
Right.
It's like,
exactly.
Yeah, fuck you people.
Right.
I'm so sick of that.
And I mean, it's not like she's hidden it because she's gone to shows and stuff before with her partner, with her girlfriend.
I know. And how many times have you looked at, oh, look, here's the 50 most famous gay couples in America, and she's always on the list.
Right? She is on the list. Jodie Foster. She's another one who never really, confirmed or denied until finally she just said, whatever, here it is. Fuck off.
I'm too famous. I have too many Academy Awards. You can't fuck with me. And that's why I appreciate the football player that just came out. And a lot of people are going, but he's a Republican. There's gay Republicans. I'm just happy that we got some fucking representation in the sports community, in a sports community that for years has hated the idea of having gay players, hated it. and they've embraced him. And what really bothers me is that we've got these haters out there on our side going, but he's a Republican. His friends voted for Trump.
I know. And the only thing that I can tell those people is I can change him. I will bring him to the Democrat side. I will bring him to an independent side.
But it's also baby steps. Yeah, I'm happy that we finally have some representation, because we don't in what other sport has that? I mean, maybe tennis,
yeah,
golf, maybe, golf, I don't know.
Definitely.
Yeah, golf, but I can't name you one player that's come out in the golf circuit or the NASCAR. So, you know, this is a good thing. If what happens is if he actually plays this year and has no problems, then somebody else will come out.
Right. And then they're going to be faster to accept a gay Republican white footballer than they are Colin Kaepernick.
Right. And remember what happened to Michael Sims? He was the black Heisman winner that everyone thought he'd go first, and then he came out and then he didn't get picked.
Right.
So about that. So we see how this can work. So when it finally works into a good thing, let's embrace it and not put it down.
Right. And we will figure out how to make him not a Republican. Anyway,
it'll be easy. Don't worry.
Speaking of the BET Awards, Lil Nas X steals the show with Blue Gown and Red Hot Kiss at very queer BET Awards from MJ Rodriguez's onstage stunt, which I didn't actually read about. Strut, onstage strut, to Queen Latifah's Happy Pride moment. Got it. Black people definitely represented pride at the award show. And you know what's even more amazing about this is I work in one of my clients is and one of our sponsors is a people of color organization, primarily African American and Black community, and it also works in the LGBTQ community. And those two communities are not always simpatico, because in the Black community, they are still very trenched in anti-gay.
Right.
And they're also very trenched in refusing to acknowledge or get tested for HIV, because there's so much stigma in the Black community about HIV. So seeing that, witnessing it firsthand and everything, it's kind of crazy that seeing how queer the Black awards were, it's like this is a big, powerful thing that happened last night.
Right. I mean, Lil Nas X shows up in a stunning ball gown.
Yes.
You know, it's what I refer to, and Sean actually said it last night. Oh, someone's having a Billy Porter moment. And you know what? We need more of people who are not afraid to shock the homophobes a little.
Right. Exactly.
You know, and either shock, but then also have a good time. Lady Gaga shows up in a meat dress and everyone goes, oh my God, that is strange, but they don't, you know, threaten to burn her house down.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, I'm just, the whole thing just made me very happy, because it is the Black community, and the Black communities has had a big problem with gay people, especially gay people in their own community.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And what we've seen with the trans, oh my God, the trans community, especially trans women that are Black, but we need to pull this out. It's a happy show. Happy show.
Yes, happy show. Speaking of happy show, Supreme Court hands a victory to the transgender students by declining to hear the critical bathroom case. Gavin Grimm's years-long legal battle with the Gloucester County School Board is finally over. The Supreme Court said, fuck you, transgender students can use the bathroom.
Well, and I just wished we weren't doing the same shit with their healthcare.
Right.
Oh God, we're pulling back into it again. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All
Hey,
right.
it's my time, right?
Yes. Tom
Okay.
wants to talk to you about.
Okay. Yesterday on and you were gonna love this. Yesterday, QVC started um their Christmas shows. Yeah. And so they had all sorts of, it was all gourmet food and drink for Christmas. So basically you're ordering it now, they'll deliver it in November, December. Some you could get now, but mostly it was a pre-sale show. So people could plan for, for Christmas, if you want to have beef Wellingtons, well, you can order the beef Wellingtons now and have them delivered on December 12th. Okay. And so it was just they had a box of wine. Okay. It was a box of wine, and on the top of it was a 12-day Advent calendar. So on day one, you pop the box and pull out a bottle of wine for today.
Like a full bottle.
Yeah, full bottle. And then they went to because a full case of wine is usually 12 bottles. So then you go to 2, and then you pull that one out the next day. So you have a new bottle of wine for the 12 days of Christmas.
If I drank wine,
I know,
all over that.
I know. I was like, I had actually said, oh my God, if Matthew, he would love this. If he drank wine, like you have to do this.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Okay, so let me get to the rest of what went on my week. Well, this week is the finale of Top Chef for the season. So sad, nice. I'll be sad to see that go. But Gordon Ramsay he's got at least 2 shows out now, and I think he's got another one coming out too. Not to mention he's got one on, is it Paramount Plus, or he's on one of the networks basically doing, remember the guy who committed suicide a few years ago, the chef? He was the one that went and tried different foods at different places. Anthony Bourdain. He's basically doing the Anthony Bourdain thing. So he's got at least 3 shows going on right now. And so that's keeping me, it makes me happy because I love my cooking shows.
I love the cooking shows, and I love him. Just saying.
Yeah. And then of course I do love the oh God, now I can't remember what I love, but I do love it, even though I don't remember it. Have you been watching Pressure Luck at all?
No.
That's the whammy show.
Oh, no.
I think it's on Hulu. You should really watch them. They are hilarious. Elizabeth Banks is hosting, who I've always loved, and she's hilarious. And these, oh God, we are like mainlining it when it comes on. We love it so much. And let's see. Oh, this week on High School Musical, the musical, the series, season 2, the kids went out to, they went over to the other school that's doing Beauty and the Beast because their Beast mask disappeared. So they went out to find if the other school had stolen it. They did. And so there's just it's such a cute show.
Yeah.
Such a cute show. And now that because I'm losing a lot of the Disney stuff, it's sad. I lost Mighty Ducks and the John Stamos show, which I never remember the title for, but I loved it. And yeah, so anyway, and we're on episode 3 of Loki this week, which was good. It was a good episode. Because basically what's happened is Loki has been Voldemort, he had the Horcrux.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So basically pieces of Loki have been pieced off of him to be other Lokis. And so they're basically, that's the show. They're trying to get the bad Lokis under control.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they're using Loki to try to find like where the first one was. And I don't know if there's going to be more or not, but episode 3, and we only got, I think, 5 episodes. So Home Before Dark, still love it. That's little Nancy Drew on Apple TV. And I don't like to use Nancy Drew because I think she was stupid, and this girl was not. I'm sorry, I didn't like Nancy Drew.
The series.
Yeah, well, in general.
With Pamela Sue Martin. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I like
it was
the series, but yeah.
Maybe it's she's the girl, and girls were icky at that point. Oh, wait, they still are. I don't know. I don't know why I never was. I mean, I like the Hardy Boys, but I like Jessica Fletcher. I do like a good mystery.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So anyway, Sweet Tooth. I thought we'd watch one episode and Sean would, leave the room, but now he likes the show, and now I'm watching this little dear boy hybrid and rooting for him now. So it's Netflix. It's a cute show. It's a cute show. And I started Kevin Can Fuck Himself with Annie Murphy from Schitt's Creek, played the Alexis, the daughter. And this is a show, it's an hour-long show on AMC, and it's a comedy, sort of. It's a sitcom and a drama, basically. She hates her life. She hates all the people she knows. She's constantly envisioning killing her husband. And at the same time, it's like watching Everyone Loves Raymond. It's like they got all these sitcom characters, and she's miserable and horrible, and her life is miserable and horrible. It's so weird. And what's weird is she's much better than the show. She really is. She's a much more, and the other people are just fulfilling their sitcom dreams. Yeah, it's hard to explain. And Brian seems to like it, but I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like, first of all, it's an hour long, and it doesn't need to be. It's hard to watch sitcoms that are an hour.
Right. Yeah.
But then it's kind of not a sitcom. I don't know. It's just love Victor this week. Victor had to face the fact that some of the other players don't want to shower with him now that he's out, because he's a basketball player. And so he quit the team. Fuck him.
Oh.
I mean, it's bad that he has to do that, but
Well, I noticed on your other podcast that in the title, right after the Love Victor thing, your co-host wrote something about fuck somebody.
I think you're just seeing Kevin can fuck himself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think it was Kevin.
Yeah, okay. You're getting mixed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Evil, which just started back on Paramount Plus season 2. And I just found out yesterday that the new episodes drop on Sunday now. If I knew that, I would have watched it. Anyway, sorry. Okay. The first episode was they have the team who is they're basically looking for evil in New York City, which I'm sure is a lot easier to find than you think. But the woman who's the lead, she had gone to these fertility clinics for one of her daughters, because she was having problems with the pregnancy. And this daughter all of a sudden shows up getting fangs growing on top of her adult teeth that are coming in. And so that was, so they're looking at a fertility clinic that is basically implanting the devil's babies into people.
Ooh.
So that's spooky. And then and one of her daughters is one of those kids. And when she was in her bathroom, she found a rosary, and she picked it up and held it in her hand, and it started burning her palm, which is never a good sign.
No.
Never a good sign. And then let's see, there was a new sex demon that showed up with one of the characters, and they're getting ready to have an exorcism, and this was all in episode 1.
Huh. Wow.
Jesus, I was exhausted. It was so much fun. It's weird because it's super scary and creepy, and then at the same time hilarious. Sometimes it's just fucking hilarious. Then they actually show the devil, horns and hooves and all. They show the devil, and whenever I see him, he just makes me laugh, because I cannot believe that a network show is actually dangling the devil out at us. That's great. I'm so happy with this show. Let's see, RuPaul's All Stars season 5 and Untucked just started on Paramount Plus. Only place you're able to see it is Paramount Plus, people. And then I started the Mysterious Benedict Society on Disney Plus with Tony Hale, and it's about he's trying to stop his twin brother who's like crazy genius just like he is, but one's good, one's bad, and so he's found these 4 children who are going to help him take down his brother. That's what I'm getting from the first episode. It was good, but it's another children's save the world episode, series, whatever it is. And so I don't know how I feel about, but it was entertaining. I did want to mention Monsters at Work, which is the Pixar series starting on Disney Plus in July, based on Monsters Inc. I saw a preview for it, and it looks as good as the movies did, because you can always cheap out on these things when you're going to TV. Even though TVs now are like extraordinary, you can still cheap out if you wanted to, and it looks like they didn't. I did see a show called When Nature Calls with Helen Mirren, which is a pile of crap. It's on, I believe it's Fox. You can see it on Hulu, but it's an hour long. They have an hour long, and they show cute videos of animals with voiceovers. And now, how could you go wrong with that? Oh, I know. Don't write or say anything funny. That's how.
Oh.
It was like, come on. You're okay. Anyway, don't watch it. I started watching season 1 of Why Women Kill also on Paramount Plus.
Yes, that's the one I pointed out.
Now, did you watch any of it yet?
I have not, but I wanted to know what you thought of it.
It's done by Desperate Housewives. It feels like Desperate Housewives, which is fine. There is my favorite character is played by the woman who played Snow White in the series, the ABC series you like so much, where it was storybook.
Oh yes, yeah.
So and she's playing, because I think it takes place in the 80s. I'm so confused on the timeline because she looks like she's right out of the 50s, and the cars look much earlier, but it's got Lucy Liu in it. It's got this terrific cast, and basically the first episode is one woman finds out her husband's cheating. One woman finds out her husband's gay. The other woman is having a lesbian affair with this because they have an open relationship. But when they have to bring the lesbian relationship into their home, now her husband's starting to find interest in this new woman. So it's like someone's going to die, and I can't wait. Super fun show. I hope it's as good. It continues to be as much fun.
Nice.
Because that's at one point, I won't ruin it for you, but Lucy Liu does something so unexpected in episode 1, and it made me laugh out loud. Just laugh out loud, because it was, and then her reasoning for it was even funnier. So I don't want to spoil it. Okay, there's a new show coming on Apple TV in July called Schmidt Gadoon. So I'll learn how to pronounce it. And basically the story is Key from Key and Peele, Michael
Peele.
Yes, but not Peele.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Jordan Peele, and this is his partner. But Peele's not in this one. It's Cecily Strong. Is that right, Cecily? From Saturday Night Live.
Okay, I don't.
Anyway, they're a couple. They're out camping. It looks like they're hiking and they're camp. It's one of those where they carry their sleeping bags and their tent with them, and they're going to set up some horrible place with animals and snakes. Well, they wander into this musical they wander into a musical and they're like, oh my God, we're in like a 1940s musical. What the hell is happening here? And I don't know what's going to happen there, but I cannot wait. I cannot wait. The preview is hilarious. I posted it on Swanner and Judd. If anybody wants to check out the preview, I can't wait. I just can't. I'm so excited about that. Also on Apple TV, there's a new show called Physical, and this is Rose Byrne, and it's during the 80s. She is, we hear her internal voice. So at one point, she's like, she pulls up to drop off her daughter at daycare or at kindergarten, and there's this woman standing there, one of the other mothers, with a box of donuts. And so she takes her kid, kisses her, and the woman goes, oh, do you want a donut? And her internal voice is going, oh my God, are you sure you can give up one of those donuts, fat ass? Look at you. You're so fat. Oh my God, I can see your back fat. Can you feel that back fat? And then she turns around and goes, I should have had the donut, but then I'd be fat and I hate myself. I hate myself. So it's all her internal journey throughout the whole show. It's funnier than you're looking.
Okay.
At one point, something happens. Oh, her dance studio, because she's going to go work it off. She's going to go work out and dance and feel better about herself. And the dance studio has been closed. And so she gets $50 and goes to every fast food restaurant in town, rents a motel room, sits on the bed naked and eats everything she bought. And I mean, hamburgers, hot dogs, tacos, everything, just to gorge herself. And then, it's, oh my God, I was laughing out loud a lot during it because the internal dialogue is the best. So, and that's Apple TV. And I don't know, you don't have whatchamacallit. Maybe you do. Do you have Peacock? Because you have.
I actually
you can get it for free,
but I think my mother did some free, like 3-month thing or something.
Well, because Peacock is available for people who have Xfinity for free.
Oh, well, then we have it.
Yes. So,
nice.
And the reason to watch it is that Miley Cyrus did a Pride concert.
Really?
She did it in Nashville. She invited gay people, and she does this big concert she does a little Madonna medley. She does, I mean, everything is just pro-gay through the whole thing. It was so enjoyable. And it's just like, I hope this is a trend. I really feel this is a trend because, I mean, why would not Cher and Bette Midler and some of our icons not go, oh, I'm doing the concert next year. That's a great idea. And I would think that with all the streaming services, they'd love it too. So it's Miley Cyrus on Peacock with a Pride concert. And all she does is talk about, I'm not only, I'm an ally, and I want you to know I'm your ally. And I want you to know that I feel part of this community. And it was so reaffirming, just wonderful. And that's on, like I said, Peacock. And then this week, starting out, movies starting is Baby Boss 2, which is going to theaters, but you can also see the premiere on Peacock. Let's see, for the Forever Purge, which means that what happens is, you know the Purge movies, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now they're just saying it's Purge all the time, and it's just like, okay, this needs to just stop.
Yeah.
This is nothing but a white supremacist wet dream, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I think I watched like maybe 20 minutes of one and said no thanks.
Yeah. Zola, which is from A24, it's the studio A24. All I know about it is it's a stripper who is going home to visit family in the South. That's all they say about it. And then Tomorrow War with your boyfriend Chris Pratt starts this week too.
Yes, I heard that.
So
I have that in my little blog.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
Is that it?
That's it.
Wow. Okay, cool. Oh, well, I just found something very, very interesting that I'm going to put in a Christmas list. I'm going to be very cryptic about this, but we'll find out about it.
So you're shopping during the show?
No, you said something that sparked me, so I had to look something up, and that sparked something that made me look something up. But
now, is this sparking or triggering?
No, sparking. Like,
Okay.
I forgot about. And then
Okay.
So, let me get back to my list. So here's what I was thinking about. That I went over and I put Press Your Luck in my Hulu queue, and I put some Gordon Ramsay in there, but the new chef season isn't there yet.
Okay.
So, womp womp. However, it reminded me I've been jonesing for some Orville. And I was like, when are they finally going to bring it back? So I looked up, and an article that was put out May 10th of this year said season 3 is set to premiere on Hulu.
Right.
Sometime probably in October.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because filming was delayed numerous times since it began.
Sure.
It did, and I really like the Orville, and lately it's been popping into my mind. So when I went over to Hulu, it reminded me, where the fuck is my Orville and my cute Seth?
I was trying to read that and you deleted it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I basically just said everything.
I know.
Said, but,
I'm halfway through going, oh, okay. Wait, where'd it go?
So I'm really excited about that. I really love that show. Okay. So this week for me, Mother went to urgent care. She was having some issues with follow-up stuff from from her time in the hospital early this year. And so she was a little concerned. And so she went to the urgent care, and they basically said, whoa, we're having someone take you over to ER right now. So she went over to the ER, and they kept her overnight for observation. And they basically kind of said, well, this is what we think the problem is. So they kind of fixed it enough that she felt better. And so they sent her home yesterday. And actually, I should have sent a big chub hug out to Mr. Roy Dean, because he helped us get the car home and pick her up and stuff like that. So it was, but luckily she was only gone for one night, and now she is home and feeling better. And it was extra. And so that was the downer part, but the upper part was that my father was gone to his not girlfriend's for the whole weekend, and apparently he's going to be back tonight at some time. But it was nice to have a reprieve from his creepiness. So yay. Anyway, so yeah, my weekend was a little tense and worrisome, but we're good now. I finally, after all these years and all the prompting, and I even have some DVDs of it, I started watching Downton Abbey. And I got 5 minutes into it, and I had to do something else. But all the seasons, I believe all the seasons, are on Netflix now. So I'm gonna watch them all.
They're also on Paramount Plus.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there we go. So I have several options to watch them.
And it's such a good show. It's so addicting.
Yeah. So speaking of addicting in British, I finished watching Great British Baking Show, the 8th, whatever they're classifying as 8th, because it's more than that, but you know how they've got things all cocked up over there. So whatever the 8th season is, the last one, I ended up watching that and loving it. And then the last week or so, I've just been letting it run, and it keeps jumping back. So I've watched season 7 again, and with Rahul, and season 6 with whatever. And I think, anyway, I'm just jumping back through time, and I have to say that I really miss Sandy. She was a good co-host, especially for Noel. So yeah, boo. Anyway, so other than that, I really haven't been watching hardly anything. I have become slightly obsessed with Todrick Hall, though. His new single that came out a few weeks ago, it's Rainin' Fellas. It's so good. It's so good. He's so good. And I've just become obsessed with him. I've been watching the video usually like several times a day whenever I just have a moment to sit and watch it. It's so good. So last episode anyway, I talked about the George Takei article that I was kind of pressured into writing, saying how he was all my hero and stuff. And
I remember you always talked about how you loved him and how he changed your life.
I know, it was so weird.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know it at the time. Anyway, so, and I do really like him and admire him, and I just kind of, the context didn't totally fit for me, but I went ahead and wrote it anyway, and I made it fit, and I made it, authentic. And I posted it online, and it just like blew up. Like, everybody was loving it and commenting on it, and like on Twitter and everywhere. It just like, it was just, everybody like really seemed to connect and love it. So I'm glad that I wrote it then, because it seemed to really mean a lot to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And in that vein, so I've been getting a little like at nighttime with not watching too many different things. I've been going through doing projects and looking at old writing and scanning it in, and kind of preserving it, even though I'll never do anything with it. And I came across an old writing last night from like 1988, 1989. And it was like some weird sci-fi thing that I did, and I just, you could tell I didn't have any style, and I didn't know how to like write descriptive words and stuff like that. It was so hideous. Oh my God. When I look at Last Romance, which by the way is going to be released in 3 days, it's going to be out in 3 days. Yay. Although you can get the paperback version available now. I get lost in that sometimes, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. I don't even, I'm surprised at myself how this is good. And then I look back at these old writings, and I just want to vomit. And they're so bad. Oh my God, they're so bad. But of course, that's how you learn. So yeah, I'll just tuck that away, and somebody can find it. I know, right? I did good. And then the last thing there that I was going to talk about was there's this new service on Amazon. Everybody knows the Kindle. That's where you read your books and for your digital books. Well, there's this new service that they're putting in called Kindle Vella, and this is basically like serial writing. So everything that you publish on there will come out in, like, you do it in like releasing chapters at a time. So the old serials, and then you live the cliffhangers and everything. Well, that's kind of what this is possibly supposed to do if you use it that way, where you post 1,000 to 5,000 word segments whenever you do it, but they want you to do it like every week or every couple weeks or something. And then the first 3 people read for free. And then if they like what you're doing and they want to read more, and they want to read the more chapters, you buy tokens that are like $1.99 for 200 tokens. And then depending on what your word count is, if they want to read your next chapter, they have to pay you X amount of tokens. So if my chapters are like 1,500 words, they'll, probably give me like 20 tokens or 25 tokens to read. So then Amazon takes half of that, and so then I get like 15 cents per chapter or something like that. So anyway, at first I was like, this model is not very author friendly, so I'm not really sure. In fact, they were trying to make it so that you couldn't even like once your stuff was here, you couldn't take it and publish it in a book or anything. It's like they just like, you put your stuff here, it's staying. And authors went, excuse me, what? And so they changed that. So you have to have like X amount of chapters up, and it has to be up for at least 30 days. And then if you want to take it and put it in a book, you can. So I'm doing it. I have an old piece that I started revamping called Eden's Bay. And so I put it up under the Secrets of Eden's Bay. And it's basically this really campy soap opera style, 1,500 words a shot, gay romp, basically. And so that will be, they're releasing the whole thing to the public next month in July. And so it'll be available on, I guess, your Kindle devices. You can subscribe, and so it'll be interesting to see how that goes and to see if it really stays around, because it could go really well and it could tank. It could tank really hard. So we'll see. Anyway, that said, Fat Marker wants to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you, especially during Pride Month. And Fat Marker Clothing wants those of us who have been told that we are too much of something, and I've been told I'm too much of things all the time, to turn those negatives into positives. And Chubs listeners, you can do that by using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything ordering over at fatmarkerclothing.com. I'm wondering if, since they are in Florida, or I think they're in Florida, they're down that way, if they're going to be going to the big, what is it? The big Chub Fest thing that's happening down there. Cannonball, that's it. I don't know why I can't remember it. Anyway, so Cannonball is coming up in October, so I just wonder if they'll be attending that.
Well, I definitely can tell you that the attendees will be wearing their product.
I hope so.
Yeah, well, they were last. I saw quite a few of the stuff last year.
Nice.
Not that I was there, but the pictures I saw from Cannonball had a bunch of people in Fat Marker clothing. So,
and I'll tell you, watching the videos and seeing the pictures and stuff that came out of it was so fun, so very fun. So, anyway. All right. You want to talk some advice?
Maybe.
Well, this one's from Miss Manners, so it's not as long.
Okay.
All right. Miss Manners. Dear Miss Manners, I underwent weight loss surgery, gastric sleeve, and the expression on Tom's face, for those of you who are not on video. Anyway.
Yeah.
I can only consume about 1/3 of a cup of food at a time. In addition, my doctor has put me on a high protein, low carbohydrate, low fat diet. Keeping my carbs low prevents me from being hungry and overeating. I've also been warned not to consume alcohol for at least a year after surgery, perhaps longer. My problem is my husband and I are planning a trip to Sicily. When we go to a nice restaurant, I won't be able to consume a regular-sized meal. Should I share a single meal with my husband, or should I just leave most of my plate untouched? Is it okay to ask for a box to take home the rest of the meal? Should I explain the reason for my behavior to the waiter? None of these solutions are ideal, but which one of them is the least bad? Or are there other solutions I hadn't thought of? I don't want to offend the chef or the waiter, nor do I want to look like a silly American. You already do, girl. After 4 years of Italian lessons, my Italian is getting pretty good. Oh, dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Okay. I have a friend who got the surgery.
Uh-huh.
And
Haven't we all?
she does tell people too much. She shares too much.
Mm.
But she orders the children's meals.
Oh.
And that's usually where she gets in trouble, because she goes, I was wondering, and I've been around for this, can I get the child's meal? Because I had the surgery that prevents me from eating too much. And it's like, just ask if you can get the
Right.
child's meal. Don't offer up the explanation until they go,
know.
Why do you need a child's meal? Then you can offer up the bullshit. But and you know what? Guess what? The waiter and the chef don't give a fuck if you finish that food.
No.
They, as long as you're paying for it
and you're not sending it back,
they don't give a fuck about it.
Yep.
And my biggest concern would be that wine thing. Oh my God. Fuck the food. I can't drink for a year.
I'm going to Italy and I can't drink or eat. Oh my God. Well, this is I will tell you, this is a fat person problem. And I know because I'm a fat person, is that when you do go on trips and stuff like that, one of the things that's great is to go try different restaurants and go try different. And
well, that's because you're only limited at restaurants,
Right. But when you're limited, you have to realize that you have to find other things that are great to go see rather than,
museums.
Right.
It's a beautiful place. You don't have to eat your way through Italy.
Right.
And you know what? And ask for a box and take it back. If you have a refrigerator in your hotel room, take it back. Your husband can eat it later if you don't.
Right. Exactly. I don't understand why this is such a perplexing question. It's just like, just order what you want.
Eat what you want. And then
if you don't want to take it home, leave it on the plate. Nobody cares.
And don't eat that garlic bread just because it's there.
Oh, I know. That's one thing. If you can only eat 1/3 a cup of food at a time, don't fill up on bread.
Yeah. Or water.
Right. Right. Don't drink anything, especially the wine. All right. Well, here's what Miss Manners had to say. Gentle reader, as no level of fluency in Italian is going to save you from being considered a silly American, Miss Manners suggests you concentrate instead on what you can control. The two things most likely to trouble your Italian waiter are the box to take home leftovers and the unstated assumption that Italian restaurant portions are, like American portions, grotesquely large. They are not. Order dinner, eat what you can or wish to finish, compliment the meal, and leave the rest alone, both the food and the explanations. Full stop. Yeah, right on. You tell him, Miss Manners.
What does she do when she goes to Olive Garden? When she goes to a restaurant in town, what does she do?
She's at McDonald's, trying to stuff a quarter pounder into a third of a cup.
And
wait, that would just be me. Sorry.
It can be done. Don't worry.
Yeah, but no, just do your thing and stop worrying. That's just my opinion, though. Anyway, and by the way, just so that there's no one triggered, if you've had the surgery, we're not knocking you at all. We're just seeing this person was a little silly. All right, next up. Hey, Chubs, what's the last thing you ate last night?
I had sushi for dinner. So sushi of some point would have been the last thing I ate.
Okay. The last thing I had last night was a stick of Gouda cheese.
Was it Gouda?
One of us had to do it, didn't we? Yeah. It was fine for processed cheese, but I'll tell you, Gouda processed cheese tastes like cheddar processed cheese. There was nothing special about it. It's just a cheese stick. And I think some of it might have been real cheese. I don't know. All right. Hey, Chubs, do you like museums?
Yes and no. I like museums. I've been to many of museum. The problem is that they're usually so big and there's not enough place to sit down. It's just, it gets exhausting because it's a long day of walking.
Yeah.
Especially if it's if you like you're in the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., you're walking and walking and walking because they're always like guiding to walk. Now we're walking, and I'm like, no, I want to sit.
All right.
It's like that ridiculous graveyard tour here that they have in town. You're walking and walking and walking, listening to somebody tell you about it, and there's nowhere to sit.
Yeah.
And they frown if you lean or sit on the tombstones, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the thing. One year, I may have talked about it on the show, but one year that I went, there was an usher guy, because they have several ushers that hold lanterns and walk with you. And the guy that I was with knew every single place that you could sit, where it wasn't like crumbling or you wouldn't sit on a grave or something like that. And so he would, like, every time we did a pause for a scene, he would come over to me and he would kind of usher me over to this spot. And he's like, you can sit here. It's totally cool. So I was like, thank you. And they need this. They need people that know how to cater to us.
Hey, carry around chairs. I would do that.
Yeah.
Can I bring my own chair with me?
Yeah.
So I can sit down and enjoy the art whenever I feel.
Right. And see, that's, oh, you should, my mom and my father both have walkers that are the ones that fold, and they have the seat in it. It's wonderful for them. I mean, they can just go where they need to, and they need to sit down, they can just sit down until they're ready to go somewhere or whatever. Yeah. So I agree with you. I love museums. Absolutely fucking love museums. But again, like you said, there's that. And I remember taking a trip through the Crocker, our local one, during one of their Pride exhibits, and it was so great, except that it was warm and there wasn't that much air conditioning. And so I just sweated through the whole fucking thing. And who wants to pay attention to weird art and, different styles of whatever when you're fucking sweating all over the place?
One thing that I find irritating is that when you have the artwork that you see and you're familiar with, and you get to the museum and it's only this big.
I know. Yes.
It's like, no, I'm pretty sure that I've seen that on TV and in the computer, and it's way bigger than that.
Right.
And they go, no, those are just close-up shots. I'm like,
yeah. I mean, what is it, Mona Lisa and Whistler's mother and stuff, or they're just tiny little, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, crazy.
All right, well, what's in your lunchbox? Mr. Moose wrote in especially for our 400th episode.
Oh my God. Don't look at the pictures. Oh,
I know, right? I saw that sandwich and I'm like, what?
You're kidding. I'm looking at this. What is this?
This is still doing the best we can without a chicken. This is takeout lasagna. At least put it on a real plate. It was pretty good. I'm kidding. It looks beautiful.
Well, they started demolition of his kitchen today.
Yeah. Oh, did they finally do it today?
Yeah. And I just hope that it runs as smoothly as mine did.
Now I hope
we didn't deal with a contractor. We just ordered in the people. It's like we demolition, then we ordered up the cabinets. They brought in the cabinets. They brought in and a different group brought in and laid down the countertops. Then another person came in and did the plumbing, and then another person came and did the electric. And so the funny thing is that the four elements that we needed done happened in 4 days. It was over a few weeks period, because we had to get one of them finished before we could bring in the next one.
Right.
So when the cabinets were in, then we settled for the countertops to come in that next week. And then once the countertops are in, then the electric and the plumbing guy could come in and do that stuff. So, but contractors, I've worked with them before. They are the devil's spawn.
You know, what's really sad is I did an article about a contractor who was really fucking good and cute, super fucking cute, a few years ago. And then we were friends on Facebook, and I saw him post like a whole bunch of like really crazy rifle association posts and like right-wing nut job.
But
like
he's really cute.
Well, I mean, and he was like very gay friendly and everything else, and then all of a sudden he's just like gone off the rails on. I was like, nope, delete, run away. But that's awesome. I'm wondering if Moose's Kitchen is being redone by Kathy Bacon, because I saw her like totally knock out some shelves and throw knives around, almost hit her daughter and stuff, and she left it in her message.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I mean, she just handled that whole refrigerator thing by herself.
Well, it's not like she's one of those damsel in distress.
No, that's one of the reasons I love her, is because she's like, I'll fucking do it. Get out of my way. Although she may not say fucking.
Okay, tell me about the sandwich.
Okay, so this sandwich is more takeout food. Lean roast beef sandwich, rare beef with tomato, lettuce, and pickles, and now I want a Togo sandwich.
That is just so beautiful.
I know.
Oh,
can you believe Larry Dean doesn't like Togos?
Well, now where was he from originally?
Well, he was born in he lived most of his life in New Mexico, and then he moved to East Coast and just was there for decades.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is what you've grown up on is different from, especially you take the what is it, Subway out of the, you take that out of the market, and you just see how they make sandwiches across the country. It is so different.
Yeah.
I mean, what condiments go on it, what vegetation goes on it, what mixes with what. It's insane. It's like ribs, like barbecue sauces. They're like, if you're in, I think it's Georgia, their barbecue sauce is a mustard based barbecue sauce, not ketchup, but it's mustard. Which to me, I don't like mustard, so it's just disgusting and disturbing. But yeah, I just food is cooked differently. So if he grew up on a different kind of, maybe he grew up on hoagies, or he grew up with poor boy sandwiches, and they're both different than Togos. Togos is kind of bread and meat sandwich.
Yeah, Togos is, I guess you could really classify Togos as very Californian.
Yeah,
because it's very straightforward. Like, this is a sandwich,
right?
To whereas I don't like Subway. I don't like their bread. Their meat is like weak.
Well, they've got to put meat on it to be weak. That's the problem with Subway. Yeah. They're chintzy with the stuff, with the meat, but then they'll throw on like 4 gallons of lettuce that you don't want.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, I ordered a sandwich, not a salad. Right. All right. Well, currently LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento, along with the HIV Community Planning Council, want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective when preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic. In Sacramento County, California, contact Golden Rule Services at sacgrs.org to get started on protecting your sexual health. And with that, thank you so much for joining us for a wonderful 400th episode. We're big, we're beautiful. And we're happy.
We're long.
Yes, we're very long. and a little thick at the same time. Oh wait, you meant the show. Okay. Well,
No,
let's
no,
wrap
I was
that up.
talking about wieners.
Okay, that's
You're talking about the show.
all right. Send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Leave us a comment on chubsgonewild.com. Please consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/mattburlingame. Find Tom's movie and TV reviews at swannerandjed.com. Find their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books and writing and other projects over at justkisstheguy.com. Fully revamped, looking beautiful. Very proud of my website now. And check out my other podcast at And like all the wonderful people who supported us and sent us love for this show, give us a call at
408-69 Chubs.
Yes. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So we did it. We made it to 400. Now we just have to make it to 500. And then we start losing weight and counting down, going backward, right?
And yeah, we will weigh in at the 500 show though.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Oh, now people are going to expect us to weigh in. I think we just had like 10 chasers get chubs. Well, so to speak.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. We love you, and we will catch you for episode 401 next week. Bye.
Bye.